If you look real hard and squint real small, you can kind of see it back there. Hey guys, Randy here, and welcome aboard the Seabee Traveler channel. All right, we are leaving Pima, Arizona. That was such a fun time. Got to go see the old Bryce home. Ebenezer Bryce, the guy they named the Bryce Canyon National Park after. And then we also checked out that really an amazing museum, downtown Pima. All right, so a lot of you may be aware of what the Civilian Conservation Corps were. For those who don't, back in the 1933, as part of the New Deal, FDR started getting the civilian corps together, and they would help get people to work. And they did a variety of things. There's a civilian conservation corps up by Pierce Ferry near the Colorado River, and I think that one was all about the seismic shifts being caused by Lake Mead. And but the one we're going to go visit right now, it's Sanchez Civilian Conservation Corps Camp. This one looked a little bit more involved. When I was looking on satellite, it still has some old buildings that are still standing, mostly just concrete and rock walls, but there didn't seem to be any buildings with roofs on them. So I thought that's going to be kind of interesting. Now the Sanchez Camp was all about soil conservation. They were working in the CCC was working in conjunction with the Soil Conservation Corps, or the Soil Conservation Service, to help aid in soil erosion. They did stuff like contour furrows. They would do earth and check dams and rock spreaders, that kind of thing. And I always find it interesting to go back to these old camps, something like that. Back in the 1935, they probably, it gets hot here. It gets cold in the winter and it gets hot in the summer. So if you're being out there in the middle of the desert like that, it couldn't have been too comfortable. All right, so when we left Pima, it was only about 19 miles from there to get out to the camp. But it's like 30 minutes. So that tells me there's some little bit of dirt road probably. And there's one part I'm a little bit nervous about the road, because when I was trying to figure out how to get there on maps, it looked like it went right by somebody's house. So I know you can get out there though. I just hope Google is telling me the right way.
Fading in the desert dust, every crack and creek told a tale of rust. We keep rolling through the world so wide. The Seabee Traveler spirit is our lifelong guide. Rolling with the traveler, free as the breeze, chasing those sunsets through the rustling trees. From starlit skies to campfires aglow, life's an open highway where we're bound to go. Yeah, yeah. We'll stay in a place where the camping is free. Wake to the dawn, hear the freedom ring. With every star that lights our way, the road keeps calling, it's where we'll stay.
All right, well, I know my turn. Well, the turn Google is telling me to go on is somewhere. That might have been it. That might have been it right there. No, maybe not. Maybe. Oh, heck, I don't know. Oh, I think maybe that was it. That might have been it. All right, let me, yep, that was it. Let me get up here. I'll make a quick U-turn, and then we'll head up that little hill to see how far we can get. Hopefully, we can go all the way through. Like I was saying, this is a place that I was a little bit wary about because it looks like it goes right by somebody's house. So I'm not sure if it's private property once we get up there. You can see it up on top of the hill. So, well, we'll go see. But I'm not making any promises. I see some trailers parked here. Looks pretty well traveled, so maybe. All right. Oh, what is this? No trespassing. All right. Let me get up here. We'll turn around and go to plan B, I guess. All right. I did find it's a different way. I ended up going all the way back around by the airport. So we're probably talking 4 miles, 5 miles backtrack. But that's all right. I made it out here and I wasn't trespassing on somebody's property. So I feel better about that. Look at this. What a beautiful day. Other than I do see clouds building, and out in the mountains behind me, you can't see them, where Mount Graham is. There's been clouds on that mountain all day, like it has its own weather system up there. But you can kind of see we're getting close now. I see something up here. They got some rain. Now I do have to say, with the rain they got out here, there were some mud puddles I was a little bit nervous about going through, but I have 4-wheel drive now, so I was okay with it. Some of them were big enough that other people have actually gone around them, so I did the same thing. But we're on kind of a slope, you can see here, so the water isn't built up too bad on this part of the road. And everything is looking, it's greener out here for sure. And not a saguaro in sight. That was a little bumpy right there, but here's our parking lot. Nobody here. But you can see I'm not the first one here today. So, all right, let me get parked and yeah, let's take a walk around. This is going to be pretty cool from what I see. It's going to be great. And you can see Mount Graham way off in the distance there. All right, let's see. Well, they got it. First thing I noticed was it's kind of nice. They have a rail, keep you from going too far. Sanchez Civilian Conservation Camp. Soil Conservation, Camp 11. Commanded by Captain Benjamin Moosey from 1935 to 1936. All right, let's see. Is there a pin in here? Oh, there is. I'm all signed up. And I did notice I was the first one out here today. Now, I did say I didn't see any saguaros, but there are some barrel cactus out here, and it looks like they're blooming. Wow, take a look at this. Oh, a couple. Those are pretty. Those are still in really good shape, too. We got some pillars here from the main entrance. Notice you are on federal land. Just letting you know to keep it clean, don't do any destruction. Oh, you can see a rock fence all along down there at one point in time. There's another column. But see what I mean with these buildings? Looks like they were poured concrete. Oh, look at that. There's an eagle soaring up here. The black eagles are pretty common down here. But yeah, it looks like they're. We'll take a look inside. We'll come back to that one. We'll go look at some of these buildings over here. I see little signs telling us what they were. Well, that's nice. All right. This was a guard shack or storage. Maybe they used it for both at different times. Look at that. Those are some big rocks. But let's, I think we'll take a little look inside. So that's what I kind of thought. It looks like they're poured concrete with like rocks on the outside. Oh, there's a big crack there. But you can kind of see. All right, I don't know how they did this because you have these big rocks in here. So they must have had just some wood forms. I think they were poured on the ground and they were tilted up. I think those are tilt-up walls. Not sure what that was. Let's see over here. Same kind of construction. Generator shack. Look at that. They have like these planter areas outside. The generator shack. So it's the same type of construction. Little platform for the generator to sit on. What was this? Kind of, oh, it was a vehicle shed. Kind of reminded me of those bins. Yeah, look at that wall right there. It must have been a tilt up. I don't know. I'm so confused on that construction. If you know, let me know. Looks like you can kind of see planks on the concrete. There's a lot of vehicles they could store in here. But whatever I mean, there's 150 guys that lived out here and it was operational for 2 years. But yeah, part of me says that it's like poured in place. I don't know. Poured in place and then like a rock veneer. But I saw some more signs out here. It's like in this big flat area. And I see some rocks all lined up. Maybe this is where they stayed, where they lived. For 150 guys, they'd have to have a lot of room out here, so. Let's see. Yep, barracks. Barracks area. So these probably outlined where they're probably stayed in, I don't know, tents, something like that. But there's the camp, the main camp. I see some more signs over here that I wanted to see if they'll tell me what they were. But whatever was out here, it wasn't. I know, like in Desert Storm, we had those big canvas tents, and we had wooden floors, and we had fashioned up some wooden doors to go on the ends. So maybe in the same thing. Hey, boy, it'd be hot in the summer in a tent. So maybe they had, I don't know, some pre-built walled shacks or something. There's a slab for something. No sign there. Tell me what that was. There's a bigger slab up here. So this was the shower hut. Look at you get water still standing from the rains they had. There's an old tin can. But all the walls, the foundation on the ends were raised just a little bit, I guess, to try and keep the water flowing in one direction. Something. All right. Let's see. Here's another plaque. I've also noticed these. It's a whole. They're all over the place. Like some metal. I'm not sure what they were. A metal strap of some sort. Oh, the latrine. Yeah, you're not gonna have running water out here, probably. Somebody's got a place down there now. And it looks like you used to be able to drive out here. Or maybe the Forest Service drives around this camp sometimes. Because there was a gate, but then it was locked. Pretty well laid out. As we're working our way back towards the main buildings, I saw this. Looks like the mess hall. Very important. Very important part of the camp. That slab, boy. Wonder what that was for. Might have had something to do where they washed their dishes. So they're washing them on concrete, not just dirt and mud. There's another pit. I wonder if this was like a trash pit or something. Not too big now. All right, let's I think we'll make our way back to the main camp. This whole area would probably be a lot better if we could see it from the air. Get a little aerial view. All right, let's take a quick little tour so we can see. I mostly wanted to see this barracks area so you can see how big they were. Wow. Well laid out. Those are some straight lines, aren't they? See the mess area, the tent, or the shower area. I wonder if those rocks were actually laid out way back then, or if they just put them in so that you can get an idea of where they were. All right, let's get a closer look at these two. Let's go look at this back one here first. I know they had a maintenance shop out here, and they also, that may be an administration building or something they had. Let's see here. So this is, yep, maintenance garage. All important. Get that thing inside to work on it. All your tools. Get out of that heat. See, there's a lot of rocks in this wall. There's some sort of divider here. I don't think you can get a car in here. Maybe they had to work on it. I see a ramp out there, so maybe they had to work on it out here. And they probably had some sort of lean-to or something coming off of the side so they could work in the shade. Made it nice on themselves being able to drive up here. And they have these stops, these bumps to keep the car from rolling off. And the curbs to keep them from rolling off the front. Yeah, they probably had something over here to work on in the shade, because I know it can get in the hundreds. There's a slab there. Maybe they parked supervisor car or something there.
All we need is a place to be and a few good friends for some company. If you'd like to stay, you don't have to leave. We'll leave the lights on and the door unlocked. If you drop on by, you don't have to knock. We're happy to share whatever we've got.
Well, we've got one last building to look at. And this one was a little more fancy than all the others, so not sure. I know it must be the administration building because they had one out here. The SCS, Soil Conservation people. They had a lot of windows. This must have been like a main office, main building. They have a couple different had a couple different stairways to get in. This had some sort of finish on it. The floor looks a little different. I wonder if they had furring on the inside. And some sort of wood. Maybe that was like a crawl space under there. And it's a better finish. Look at that. That must have been somebody's office because it has like a stucco finish. Look at that wood stuck in that. Wow. All right, let's see. Well, oh shoot, the placard's gone, telling me what it was. But I'm sure this was the administration building. Wow, these are so cool. From 1935. I wonder what, maybe because of storms and just years and years, the roofs have collapsed and they've just cleaned everything out to keep them safe so people can come out and look at it. Don't get nails in their feet or something. I'm looking around for that placard. I'm not seeing it. Oh well. Boy, there are a ton of creosote bushes out here though. Right, let's make our way back to the truck. You can see there's a lock on the gate, so if they need to, they can drive back there. All right, well, that was kind of neat. Check out that little slice of history. Could you imagine living out here for 2 years like that? But hey, it was 1935, Great Depression, so. And it was all between 18 and 25 years old. I think it was a way to get the young people working. And, guys that age, you're going to have to keep them busy or they're going to get stir crazy out here in the middle of nowhere like that. They probably had some softball or something, some football out here somewhere. just to keep them busy when they weren't working. All right, so there is a Camp Kearny monument I wanted to stop at, and there's also a campground right next to the Gila River. So I wanted to stop there, and then I think we'll end up at Serna Cabin. It's a day use area, and it looked like it had an old building there to check out. So I figured that'd be a good place to end the day. Get to check out some campgrounds. So if you're ever in the Safford area, the Gila River, and you want to camp along the Gila River, we'll go take a look, see what they have.
Singing, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. Sweet Arizona, yeah, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough, no, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona.
Boy, look at that. That is, it's been like that all day over the mountain. I'm going to come back down and I'm going to look at Safford, see what I can find, if there's anything interesting to see. I know they have an old Oddfellows building that I want to come back and see, and then maybe get up to the top of Mount Graham. It's up around 10,500 feet, something like that. Pine trees, it snows. They don't even keep the road open during the winter. It snows enough.
I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Sweeter than California, sweeter than Tennessee, sweeter than Colorado, sweeter than Georgia peach. Started with conversation, now you're here next to me. 24/7 days of sweet. In Arizona, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. But I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough. No, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona, take me home tonight. I need you in my arms to wake up and feel alive. Sweet Arizona, yeah, I just can't get enough. I just can't get enough, no, I just can't get enough of you. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona. Sweet Arizona.
All right, well, this is going to be a good place to stop. I need to get something to drink. Maybe grab a snack or something. Got a storyboard we can check out. Wow, this is vast out here. Wow. All right. Well, they're missing storyboard here. It's all right, because probably in this sun facing that way, probably couldn't read it anyways. That might be why they're replacing it. Let's see here. Let's explore the Gila Box. Be safe. A very special place. Know the rules. Look, there's people rafting, canoeing. I didn't know they had that much. Look, there's some there. Floating the Gila Box. They've got some water flow guidelines for different flows for what you want to do. Looks like a little ranching history here. What's this map? Let's see. It just kind of shows you some of the things to do around. What's over here? Nothing. All right, let's go see what kind of view we can get. I can hear water running down there. Oh, look how green it is along that river. The water is red though, so you can tell it's flowing from some um, rains. All up along that valley. Just a green ribbon running through the desert. Oh, just look how pretty that is. What a view. And it is quiet out here right now. All right. Well, let's head back to the truck so we can get over to that campground.
Wheels are rolling on the 2-lane blacktop. Dust kicking high, won't let this heart stop. Friends beside me, laughter fills the air. Chasing sunsets, we're going anywhere. Wide open roads and a sky full of stars. Living our dreams while we travel afar. The world keeps calling, we can't stay still. Wandering souls with a restless will. Stopped in a ghost town, not a soul in sight. Rusty old signs in the pale daylight. Echoes of the past in the creak of a door, telling the tales of those here before. Wide open roads and a sky full of stars. Living our dreams as we travel afar. The world keeps calling, we can't stay still. Wandering souls with a restless will. Camping out by a fire under endless skies. Fiddle tunes play as the moon starts to rise. Dreams as big as the mountains far away. Tomorrow's a promise of another day. Morning comes with the first golden rays. Packing up gear, hitting highways. Every mile we drive, there's a story to tell. Freedom's a song, and we know it well.
Boy, that road got kind of narrow in some places. All right, so let's see. We are gonna take a right here. Yeah, this will take us down to Riverview Campground. All right, boy. Sometimes it's cloudy. It feels it's shady because of the clouds, and the sun will come back out. That's the Gila River is just down below us. Got a couple cars coming up on us. It looks like those are the first people I've seen, I think, all day. Let's see if I go left here. That'll take us down to that Serna Cabin. But I want to go straight ahead. Alright, so here we are, Riverview Campground. I was looking a little bit online, and they have 13 first come, first serve. And they just redid all of them. They made them bigger. And they also made, they have 3 pull-through sites and 10 pull-in sites. And you can see they've all got shade structures. Looks like picnic tables underneath them. All right, so I think we'll just drive through a little bit, and I'll park in one of the campsites. Fee area. Really cheap to stay. When I was looking online, it was like $5 for a night and $2 for extra vehicles. Also, I was looking at my phone. The cell service here is patchy. Sometimes I'll have good service, and then sometimes I won't have service at all. So I kind of noticed that as I was driving out here. So that was, looked like they had a pretty nice restroom there. They do have potable water here. That's a pretty, look how wide, how spread out these campsites are. Wow, that's really nice. Let me pull in here. And they're first come, first serve, so I don't see where you can make any reservations. Look at how big this parking area is right here. So you could, I think they made them bigger to help accommodate trailers, that kind of thing. All right, let's take a walk around. I noticed these paths they have. Looks like they go from campground to campground. We've got some nice grills here. Is that a tent area maybe over there? But I noticed these, part of the renovation, these things look really good shape. What's inside? Look at that. I don't think they've ever been used. Wow, these things are like brand new. Look at that. Then over here you have a fire ring. Do some grilling over that too. It's probably what they used to have. But see, there's another path over there. And I can see, looks like they put all new grills in all of these spots. Let's take a quick walk down here. I can kind of hear water a little bit. Look at that. Look how green it is along that river. This is a really nice campground. I would consider staying here. In the winter, probably it might get full in the winter. We're probably 15 miles from Safford. Nice little shaded area. Wow, they really redid these nice. All right, well, this is going to give us a little bit of a better view. Look at that river just kind of streaming through the desert. And here you go. You see how far away the campsites are from the road? And you can also see those trails that we saw going from campground to campground. There's a restroom. And then those, I believe, are the pull-through sites, the three of them they have. And there's even more. If you go on farther down, there's another day use area along the river. There you go. Nice little aerial view of the surrounding area. All right, what do you say? Let's go take a look just right over by the campground host site. There's a Kearny Camp. It's like a historic site. I want to see what's over there. I kind of saw a monument up on a hill, so I figured we'd take a quick drive over there and take a look at that, and then we'll head over to that day use area. All right, this is an administrative site, Kearny Camp Memorial, and a monument, and then also day use only back here. I'm just going to follow the tracks ahead of us. Looks like it's going in the right direction. All right, well, I see to our left. I'm not sure where to go. So the monument is on that little hill straight ahead of us. But I see tracks kind of going over to the left, and there's a fenced-in area. So I think we'll drive over there and then see what that's all about, and then kind of make our way up to the top of that hill. You can see there's some tracks, so people have been back here this way. But everything seems to be blocked off. You can't even walk in there. Gotta be something though, because it's all fenced off like that. Wonder if that's maybe where the campsite was. Well, what I think I'll do is we'll just come up here a little bit farther. I'll park, get out, walk around a little bit, see if I can get in there, see if there's a sign or something that tells us what it is. All right, I looked around a little bit, and like I said, there's no gate to get in there, and it goes all the way around. So maybe they're just preserving where the camp was and don't want anybody in there. But the monument is up on top of that hill. But look at this. That's coming my way. Looks pretty ominous over there. So I'm trying to get up here real quick. So if it does start to rain, at least I'll be back in the truck. I kind of like that because on my way out, if I get any good pictures, I'll make sure and add them to the end of the video. So make sure you check that out. All right, looks like a path right up ahead of us. And this looks like it'll take us right up there. Can't see it from here, but it is up on top of that hill. We're going to get a good view too. That day use area, we'll be able to see that here too. You can actually see it a little bit now. See, look at that. That's the cabin over there that we're going to go see. And that's the day use area down there where all those trees are. That's going to be really pretty to go down there and see that. See how close we can get to the river too. Wow, look at that. It's beautiful. Whew. You can see this path here takes you over to the campgrounds that are just past that camp host. All right, let's see what this says. En route to California as participants in the U.S.-Mexican War, a 100-man force led by General Stephen Kearny camped approximately at this location. Well, have a good view of the river. Making a bend right below us. Just look at those trees. Man, they seem to be turning yellow. It's early. Wow, look how dark. Those trees are beautiful right there. Like a dark area right there. Wonder what's under those. All right, well, not much to see up here. There's the truck down there, so my walk up here, I do need to get do need to get in better shape. Must be this high elevation. That's what I'll blame it on. All right, we'll meet you back at the truck. Boy, walking down, you can really smell the rain. I actually felt a drop or two. Probably just a couple getting blown over here. But it is a beautiful smell. I love that. Love the smell of rain in the desert.
Wide open desert under endless blues, red rocks climbing sunlit hues, scent of sage in the desert air. It seems too long when I'm not there. Towering canyons like old friends, the sun kisses the land where trails bend. Back in the warmth of a fiery glow, oh, Arizona is my home. This is where my heart belongs, in Arizona singing songs. Feel the spirit in the sand, I'm back in my homeland.
Well, I saw this. Looks like it's a little hiking path. A lot of concrete path for a ways. I see a little pavilion down at the end. So let's check this out. We're not too far from that cabin. All right, I see storyboard. I see a lot of storyboards actually. Watchable wildlife area. So there we are. You can see the campground that we were just at. See, everything's really close. To the Black Eagle. All right, let's make our way up the trail. This is an easy one. It's all paved. But I do notice, like left, like right here, is this a path? Maybe not. But I can see another trail kind of going up the mountain there. Ah, cool. There's a little viewing area. They got benches. You can just sit on these benches and, oh, here's a storyboard too. Streams of life. Riparian areas. Stream sides and riverbanks are known as riparian areas. All right, let's go see what kind of view we have down here. It's beautiful. You can probably see a lot of different bird species around here. There's probably deer make their way down to the water. All right, well, let's keep going. Get up to that other pavilion. More than a pretty face. Look at all that. We got broadleaf cattail, prickly pear, a lot of ocotillo, Fremont cottonwoods. A lot of vegetation here. Oh, bears. There's black bears, bobcats, coyotes, mountain lions, and a ringtail. That'd be kind of nice to see something like that. Beaver, furry engineers. They have beavers here? I guess I never thought about it. I always thought about them as in higher country. I don't know why I thought that, but I always did. I always thought beavers were up in cooler elevations. Lots of fish. Suckerfish. Top minnow. I don't think you'll get much fish today with all that muddy water like that. Bed and breakfast. So we have, there's a lot of what do they call that? The neotropical migrants. The Gila woodpecker and the black hawk. Did I say black eagle before? It's black hawk. But a lot of birds come down here as they're migrating. That's concrete. I can tell, because that's what I do. I draw those. Look at that. What a beautiful view. Goes from rugged desert to a lot of cottonwoods. All right, well, I do think I'm going to make my way back to the truck, and then, yeah, let's go check out that day use area real quick, and that historical cabin that's down there too. Well, I wanted to show you when we got back that this is kind of a trailhead too, and that kind of takes you up the hill. Because I did see some storyboards as we were walking down. There's some up there as well. All right, let's make our way down to that day use area.
Echoes of memories in the wind, painted deserts like a dream, footsteps in the red dirt road. Now I'm home, never feeling alone. This is where my heart belongs, in Arizona singing songs. Feel the spirit in the sand, I'm back in my homeland.
All right, we were just literally just up the hill. Wow, look at this. There's nobody down here. There's the cabin. There's a lot of mesquites down here. Yeah, I'll pull forward and then, we'll take a look at that cabin. Lots of parking, and looks like the river is probably just down there. It's kind of nice having places to yourself like this sometimes. Alrighty. Storyboard's gonna tell us all about it. There's a restroom down over there too. Let's see here. Oh, there's a couple of stories here, isn't there? Serna Cabin, early history of Bonita Creek, Colonel Kearny. They trapped beaver down here. Several Hispanic settlers had homes in San Jose. There's the Serna Cabin in the 40s. Western way of life. This cabin was originally constructed in the 1920s by two brothers, Simon and Evaldo Serna. They homesteaded it. So they sold the property to Hayward, and then it was sold again to William Gillespie. Wow, look at that. So they've preserved this. That's what it used to look like. No roof. Wow. They did a lot of work. Looks like they did a good job too. Same type of construction as that the CCC camp we were at. The big old rock on the outside. Look how thick those walls are. Everything's locked. Oh, but see if I can see inside. It does look like though these are solid rock walls. They're not concrete on the inside. Wood floor too. Look at the thickness of those walls. It's all rock too. Like lava rock. Ooh, that's kind of crumbly. Little crack going up all along there. Let's see if we can see inside here. It's kind of tricky, these small little screens like that, lining the camera up. You can see the new roof, wood floors. Looks like there's some sort of concrete wall or foundation inside there too. Look at that old wood. Oh, it looks like it's burned too right there. That goes all the way across, so that looks original. That beam, oh look at that, and the header on that door. You can see some of the mortar is kind of new, or not, no, 80s. Oh, look at that, there's some sort of foundation. Maybe it was like a storage shack. I wonder what that was. There's another door. Let's see if we can. Well, there's a beam above that door, but there's no beam that goes all the way across. So this must be a little shorter on this side. Notice, archaeological resources are fragile. Enjoy but do not destroy. Yeah, you can kind of see there's, at the other end, maybe there was a room down there. It looks like there's some sort of foundation or something coming up through the wood. All right, very interesting. So look at that old beam too. Oh, look, they have like log beams going across the top in some places. All right, let's go take a quick walk around down here. We'll see if I don't hear. It's not too loud. I do hear a little bit of water. So we'll see how close we can get. Had to lock my truck. We're going to be out of sight, so I wanted to make sure she was all locked up. A lot of canopy down here. I don't know. I don't see any water here. Well, there's a picnic table. Let's take a quick look down here, see if we can catch a glimpse of it at least. Nope. Well, if you look real hard and squint real small, you can kind of see it back there. It's quite a ways over there. So, all right, well, let's just make our way back to the truck. Is there any water over here? Nope, looks like a dry wash. All right, well, I'm just gonna make my way back to the truck. But if you can, remember to click that like button and subscribe if you haven't. It helps the channel grow, lets me get out and do stuff like this. Oh, this was fun. All right, well, that is gonna do it from Serna Cabin. Pretty cool little stop. And what a nice little day use area too. But anyways, I gotta sign off, and just remember, never say goodbye. Always see you later.